Honda CR-V oil change, and Earth Dreams engine complaints. I will do the complaints at the end. Enjoy the oil change.
Do some kind of maintenance to the car. Let's check out and see what it is. Oh, oil life only has 15%. Let's change the oil. Okay, so I'm going to place my ramps down. Why am I using ramps? This is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Should be able to handle the ramps, not a problem. Further. Yep, a little bit further. Brake on. Turn off. Lock the hood. Okay, let's open up the hood and see what we got. There's a little button here. You push right here, right above the H part. You push over to the left, lift up, and you also have this
Hood prop.
piece here. I'll put on there, just like that. Okay, something people forget to do, and if you don't have an air compressor, you can just wipe this off as best as you can. You don't want little particles of dirt to fall into your engine. That's the opposite of what you want to happen. So take an air gun, blow around the area so you don't get any dirt or anything in the engine when you open it up. I don't know if this guy will come into focus or not. This guy here's got to come out. This guy here's got to come out. And then they change it up a little bit, put a star in there, a small one at that, and a small one at that. Looks like this is warped down. And there's one at the back right there. I'm gonna have to take out those slotted ones. That guy's gonna have to come out too. So they got 3 different styles of fasteners. This guy here, slot. This guy here, a star. And this guy here, either a star or a ratchet, probably a 10 mil. Okay, let's do the 10 mil ones, I think, first. Give that a try, see what that is. It a 10 mil? Oh, and it is a 10 mil. One 10 mil. Two 10 mil, and that loosens it off. I'm still attached on the corner here, still attached on that corner. It's the one thing I didn't bring. See if I can get it off with this socket extension here. Yep. Okay, this guy here too. Okay, let's take a look at what we got here. Okay, right now I have the pan off. Here's the oil filter. Here is the oil drain nut. And this guy here don't touch this guy. This is on the driver's side. Okay, this is the transmission oil. You don't want to change the transmission oil. And you do want to actually check this out because you want to see if you got any leaks. Like here. Now, I'm not saying that I got any oil leaks, right? But I do get the car oil sprayed every year because I live in Canada. So you want to give an inspection. You want to go through, check your belts. Check to make sure that everything here is still intact. Especially while the car is under warranty. So do a full view of everything that you got there. Now, if you had the car running, this is an exhaust pipe. This guy's going to be extremely hot. Like, it's cold now, so I'm okay. Because I got to get my hand here, and I got my hand here. Oopsie, sorry. My hand here, and my hand over here. Okay, so let's try starting our oil change. Now there's some controversy, and I don't know why there would be controversy over this, but some guys say that you need to take the oil filter off first. I disagree with that 100%. I always drain the oil first. While that's draining, I pull this guy off and less will drip out. So let's give that a thing that I have. Always make sure I got rags available, just in case I miss. I don't want a big spill on the driveway. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to push towards the passenger side. Oopsie, there we go. I'm going to unscrew this carefully, because I have my bucket here. Move my bucket over a bit more. Hopefully that's clear. Now I'm pushing on the actual screw. I don't want the screw to fall in. I'm actually pushing on the screw to stop liquid from falling out. Some is going to go onto my glove. See how I'm pushing? So now I'm out, and it's going perfectly into my bucket. I still have the screw in my hand, and we will wait for that to for the flow to stop. Everything's going 100% in the bucket. Absolutely nothing went on the ground. That's the perfect way you want to do it. Also, if it's windy, you want to be careful because sometimes it does blow the oil. It's not much, but it's a little bit. I'm going to set the nut on top of the bucket. Okay. This thing should not be that tight on there. This also came from a Honda dealer. This is the last oil change. It was done at a Honda dealership. That should not be that tight that when I take it off, I literally crush the oil filter. Now, oil should leak down here and go into this spout. That's actually a good design from Honda. It's like an oil drip. So if you put the bucket directly underneath there, you shouldn't have any issues. Besides what goes on your glove. Wow, that's got a long lead on it. It's not bad. Nice and clean, actually. Okay, now I'm ready to put the oil filter back on. Let's take a look up in here, see if we can get a shot in here. This needs to be extremely clean, okay? So make sure that you've cleaned everything off, you've wiped everything off, everything is super clean. Now I'm going to take a drip, just a drip, and some people will have a cow when I do this. I'm not actually putting it into the filter, I'm putting it on the O-ring around the outside. Just a little, enough to moisten it, okay? That's all I'm doing. No actual oil, old oil is going to go inside the filter or inside the engine. It's to lubricate the seal. Put this guy in here. Put this guy in here. Turn clockwise. Now, let's take a look at, I'll pull out the new one, the other new one, but take a look at this filter. Do you see how it has this abrasive here? Because there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to put these on by hand and take them off by hand. There you go. That's about it. You don't have to go hog wild on it. You don't have to reef on them or nothing. About hand tight. That's it. If you take a look, it's hard to see this guy here, but if you take a look at this guy, see how it's all dented? Right? See the dents in there? That's because this was put on too tight. and there's also no abrasive, and I'll clean it up and get a better shot. But this isn't a Honda filter. Yeah, I'm not seeing the Honda symbol on there. So Honda didn't use a Honda filter. I bet you they used, oh, whatever. Okay, I have already, I don't know if I can see it here, there we go. I've already fitted a new crush washer onto there. I got a couple of drips still coming out of here, but we can't wait forever. So if you decide you want to wait until the dripping stops, you'll be here for days. And there is a torque setting for that, but I'm just going to gingerly tighten it up with the wrench. Sorry, it's hard to do holding the camera. Okay. That's good enough. And that's basically all of the engine component stuff. Now let's put the cover back on. Let's take a look at our fasteners. We got some 3 stainless steel 10 mil heads. We have some aluminum. They look like they just turn 90 degrees. That's all they do inside. It even has a little arrow on the head which way to turn them to tighten them. And we got basically 2 pan head screws that screw into plastic. This is the bottom cover. We've never ever hit anything with this car. It's gone for 2 oil changes in its entire life. Take a look at this. And this is the reason why I don't like bringing my car to a dealership or to a quick oil change place, because they damage things. And you're sitting in the car going, everything's cool, la la la, when they're underneath the car doing whatever they're doing. Okay, so when we put this up, this little square piece here has to go in first. So I'm going to line this guy up. Guy up, slide it in to the square piece first. Then I'm going to grab my cam locks and I'm going to put them in first. Quick turn there, 90 degrees. Do a cam lock on this side. In she goes. Guy doesn't want to go in. Okay. Why don't you want to go in? There we go. She goes in now. Just got to play with it a little bit. Don't give up. Position. Turn. Lock. Make sure you don't come up hard. There you go. Cam lock here, put it in. Oh. Sounds like I'm beating on it, but the plate's very thin aluminum and it makes a lot of noise. Push this guy in all the way up. Push up, turn, cam lock. Now we got our 3 10 mil. Oh, sorry, 10 mil socket. The socket's 10 mil. It's probably a 6 mil bolt, but it's got a 10 mil head on it. 1, 2, and 3. Just zip these guys in nice and quick. Okay, this is the oil I'm using. Before I do anything, I'm going to check to make sure that the seal is intact. So when I do open it, I get that cracking sound, okay? I don't want to get oil someone's returned. You turn around and say, well, what kind of place would do that? You would be surprised. I'm also not going to I'm going to be very careful pouring. Pour it over top. Oh, hopefully you can see that. I'm only going to pour about half of this jug in. Then I'm going to start the car. And I don't need to tell you guys how expensive synthetic oil is. So I don't want to spill a drop. Now I only want 3.7 liters or something like that. So I want to be careful because this is 5 liters in this container. I don't want to overfill. But I'm also up on ramps, so I can't just, I'm going to say I'm about there. I'm going to start the car and take it off the ramps. And I'm hoping that I didn't overfill. Now, something that a lot of people forget, as I do have the wheels chalked and the e-brakes on, I gotta remember to pull that chalk before I back off of the... Now you might be asking why I pulled forward. I'm on a bit of a hill here. So I want to make sure that the car's level when I check the oil. Let's check the oil level. Okay. You pull it out and you clean it 100%. I don't know if I can get a shot of that. Okay, see how that's completely clean? We're gonna put it inside. Hold on, we're putting it inside here. Maybe over top is better. We'll see. Push down, pull out. Grab on here. I got a, whoops. A little bit of oil, not enough. Got to add some more oil. Okay, we're gonna add a bit of oil here. Videoing with one hand's not exactly easy. I wasn't really on the gauge. I had a little bit on the gauge. This is a very, very small engine. It's only a 1.5 liter engine. That's displacement, not actual how much fuel goes in. I've cleaned off the dipstick. We'll get into some other issues we're having with this engine here afterward. A little bit more. I need to add more oil. I almost said fuel. Ideally, I want to be about half the stick because of the problems that we're having with this engine. I don't want to be too full because what happens is fuel gets inside the engine because it's a direct injection. If you talk to Honda, they say because it's too efficient. Okay, whatever. Okay, I am, oops, I don't know if you can see this. I am halfway on the stick right now, and that's where she's going to stay. Move this guy here. Put it in there for safekeepings. Also, something else. The first thing I did when I took this off is I looked at the bottom of the cap. Why did I look at the bottom of the cap? If there's foam or froth in the bottom of this cap, you have a water leak inside of your engine, because it turns the oil to a bit of a milky color. That's a serious issue, and this vehicle's still under warranty for another 4 years. So if there's any liquid or any water inside the engine, it's got to go back. Okay, you guys thought we were done, didn't you? Well, we're almost done, not quite. So we're going to reach over here. If you can see the engine start button. Oh, we're going to press that guy twice. Once, twice. And then all of this information is going to come up nicely here. Now I'm going to press the info button. Seatbelt, this guy comes up. We're going to go to here. We're going to go enter. Life comes up. Now we're going to press, we're going to press and hold the enter button until the screen changes. Still holding, still holding, still holding, still holding. There we go. Now I want to go press the up button here. Item 9 only, item 7, item 6, item 5. All due items. I'm going to hit enter. Reset complete. Oil life's 100%. Going to come back now. Turn the car on, push my foot on the brake. I'm going to go back to my items here. Go to wherever. Now I'm going to shut the car off. Put my foot on the brake, start the car back up again. Fasten the seatbelt. No more maintenance issues, or no more maintenance minder. No more maintenance minder. Okay, let's recap the tools that was actually used. I'm going to call rags, in this case a tool, because it would make the job pretty messy. You do need at least one good clean rag and a couple of dirty rags just to wipe up the excesses. A 17mm wrench. In my case, I used a Star or a Phillips head screwdriver. I didn't need to take those 2 screws out. My bad. That's why you're dealing with a backyard mechanic. A flathead screwdriver or slot, and a 10mm socket. There you go, 10mm. I used 3 different oil wrenches because I'm going to say it was tightened too much, and I'm also going to say because it was a crappy filter. This was done at Honda. This is not a Honda approved part. What are you going to do, right? I'm already not happy with them. This wrench was a wrench that actually got it off. These guys slipped a bit. If it would have had the grip on the top like a good quality filter, like these Frams have, you wouldn't have had that issue. Worst case scenario, you can also stick a screwdriver through the thing and unscrew it that way. I've done that in the past as well. And the most important thing is a container to put your oil in. And don't forget to recycle your oil. It's bad for the environment and you can't just throw it in the trash. Okay, I'm getting ready to do an oil change. And this is something that I really like. I turn around to open the package up and it's got like a safety seal on it. Now you're saying to yourself, well, Ray, what does it matter if it's got a safety seal on it? It's just a box. Honest to God, true story. I was doing an oil change for a bunch of people and I sent everybody out to go with oil filters. One of the guys come back. I go to do the oil change. I open up his oil box, his oil filter box, and there was a used oil filter in it. Well, that made me a little bit upset, and I went and I freaked out. It was at Canadian Tire, and I was very upset with those people saying, you returned this and put this on the shelf? I could not believe it. So I'm really glad to see they got some kind of safety seal thing here. I was shocked when I saw it. Happy that it's there. Don't mind damaging the box at all. Looks like we got...
I could talk about the complaints with the Honda engine for hours, but I'm going to make this as short and sweet as I possibly can. I did a lot of research before I bought this vehicle, and I didn't hear anything about this Earth Dreams engine problem. All of a sudden, a year after I buy it, I'm looking, what are all the complaints with the car? And apparently the engine is so efficient, according to Honda, that the fuel actually leaks through the cylinder and into the oil compartment. Okay, so we got refitted and they extended the warranty, but I'm still not happy. We only put about 15,000 maybe kilometers on this vehicle a year, and I was hoping to have this vehicle for 10 years to kind of get a cost justification down. But I don't think this thing will last 10 years. They gave you an unlimited warranty or unlimited kilometer warranty up to 6 years. But in 6 years, we'll only have maybe 100,000 kilometers on it, if that. So the extended warranty didn't really do me any good. I had to learn how to do oil changes because I want to do oil changes every 3,000 to 4,000 kilometers with expensive synthetic oil. Well, that's my complaint. If you got any information from this, please like and subscribe. It's free and it'll help me out. Have a good night.